Hello and welcome again to the Penetration Testing Bootcamp. It's going to be the second video and this is going to be about the CIA Triad. So talking about different kind of security goals, the CIA Triad is of course one of the more used and commonly known ones in the industry, and everyone working with security should at least know the CIA Triad just to begin before going to further work with security. So let's get started with the CIA Triad. Now, first of all, the CIA Triad stands for Confidentiality, Integrity, and Availability. The letters itself mean something, but as drawing explains that this is all about protecting the information. So working with the CIA basically means that you're working with information security, and this is basically what this is all about. To talk about the three different security goals, the very first one is called confidentiality, and when you think about, let's use an analogy to make it easier. A web page, for example. Now you have some sensitive information on the web page, right? And that information you need to make sure that no one else can access it, right? That is the confidentiality part. So you can also say like keeping the secret, right? So let's then assume that you can access someone's data, or you can, well, alter the data. If you can alter some other people's person's data, that is broken integrity. In some way, that is broken integrity. It could also be that you can just access the Word document and you all of a sudden you got the system rights to edit it. That is also broken integrity. Now it covers many things, but since this is a pen test for a penetration testing bootcamp, so we're not really talking about documents, but we talk about things like web or anything where you can write to something. Then we have the availability. Now that one kind of stands alone. But when you think about security goals itself, every service in some way needs to be available. Else it's not really a service, right? So if the availability is broken, then basically you can deny that service to function. So you can deny that service to run basically means that it doesn't really work, and then it takes away the availability. So really bad. It is of course very important to operate within the CIA confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and it doesn't really matter if it's for data or systems or whatever it is. It's the same thing. So when you sit down and you talk to your executives, I cannot even say that word today. You talk to other people like developers, your boss, and different kind of other employees. You need to be aware that you need to talk about the topic with them. If you can talk about the C, the I, and the A, then basically you can have a conversation about how you can protect your company and stuff like that from three basic security goals. Looking at it like at a different way, I usually use this image also in my class, that in the middle there you see all the assets, and if you remember the essential terminology, if we talk about assets, they are the business. So without the actual assets, have no real business. What do you need to protect? So it is the innermost thing in this shape here. And depending on which kind of security goal you want to work with here, integrity, confidentiality, availability, there are different kind of ways to defensively work with that. Like for example, the prevention of, let's assume that you're getting a DDoS attack. Well, then basically you can try and prevent that by using some sort of big firewall or something. You can also have that by using some authorization. So if the availability is just too much, in some way you need to be authorized in order to access it. And at the same time, all the administrative people should be able to have this sort of access or to take it away and stuff like that. So it's a two-edged knife in a way. So it can exist as too much but also too little, and then it can also just be there by itself. Now there's some different kind of things here, like policies training, business continuity planning, and risk management, which are the things that, you know, is more like upper level stuff. Depending on where you're gonna be, for example, if you take the integrity part, many people like in the technical areas, they're all the domain admins and the programmers and stuff. They are like the firewalls, intrusion detection, prevention, antivirus, security architects, encryption, zone security, stuff like that. So if you look at this picture, it is a very interesting way to just, you know, look at the security goals and just say, well, this is a way for me to visualize it for you, and you can use this drawing, of course, to wherever you work, and say like, okay, so this really makes sense to me, you know, and I can see the security goals, but without having some sort of way to talk about who's gonna detect the breach, you know, who's gonna authenticate. You know, typically authentication is something that is done by a programmer, but you know, depending on what you're gonna do, it will be handled by different kind of, you know, people. And really, about the CIA Triad, it's kind of short, you know. I do have some things you could probably, you know, well, I want to keep it simple today, really. So the CIA Triad is as it is, you know. There are different kind of security goals you can, you know, expand on, which I'm gonna get back to in another video. And I guess just to mention one, usually you can add something to the CIA Triad, which is another A. It stands for accountability. So that basically means that, you know, you have to be able to hold someone accountable for their actions. So basically, you know, how would you do that? You know, how can you make sure that, you know, if someone does this or that, how can you prove that they did it? So yeah, this was all about the CIA Triad, really. It's kind of basic. It is a way for everyone to talk about security, because everyone should know about the assets, and then basically the three most important words: availability, integrity, and confidentiality, are the three words that you're going to discuss, and everyone in the room, the building, as a job, should be able to at least contribute to the actual fact. How can we ensure that this is not broken? Of course, people with more technical mindset should be able to be contribute with a lot more technical stuff, and people with a little more like soft mindset should be able to do more of the policies and training and stuff like that. So of course, all jobs are needed, and all the angles is important. So that's it for this video. Hope to see you again, and have a nice day.